Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Psychetruth live chat. I think I'm live. 0 are watching. Here we go. All right, elapsed time is 10 seconds. So hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me for the live chat. To those of you who maybe weren't able to catch us live, we will be doing more of these live chats. So I hope that you will keep an eye out for us so that you can come and ask your questions in the chat.
Okay,
So
overdriving the mics.
I'm overdriving the mic. Okay. Pulling it back slightly. Alrighty guys, so please forgive us. We're still kind of nailing down all of these initial details. Let's see if I can get a look at my audio. To me, that looks good over here. But those of you in the chat, y'all are the real deciders, to use a good word. So looks like I've got some folks in here. I'm gonna have to blow up this font because I can't read this. Here we go. Okay. Alrighty. Ryan Toon, Megan Higgs, Yellowflower. My friend Amanda is here. Amanda, I'm so happy to see you here in the chat. I'm so glad that you could make it. Ryan Toon, hi, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. How are you? Melody Chan. Awesome. Alrighty. Melody Chan, you sound so different. I would assume that you are then coming from the ASMR channel, where I typically talk a little bit more like this, or even like this, but I don't even know if y'all can hear me now. Alrighty. Yes. Hey, Steven, how's it going? Good to see you. Headley7-7. Headley77, I'm all tongue twisted here. So yes, we are in our new podcast studio. So we are really excited to announce that we are starting our own podcast feed. It's called Wellness Plus Podcast, and we, I believe, are already up on Spotify, iTunes. There's a huge list of different places where we're going to be posting our podcast, and right now we're just in the process of that first episode getting approved. So we've got links down in the video description that can take you to the podcast. Also, as you can see, we've got all our cameras set up in here too. So we're going to be doing the audio podcasts on the RSS feed, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, etc. But we're also videotaping the podcasts, and we'll be posting the video versions up on wellnessplus.tv.
You're still overdriving.
I'm still, it looks, well, can you help me with that, pretty please? Because it looks on here like I'm hitting a, like the audio is good. Nobody in the chat is telling me that I'm overdriving. Anyways, guys, I'm getting word that my audio's overdriving. So, yeah, on this thing, it's not, it's in the green. It looks good. So I don't know how to use that as a reference. But I apologize, guys, if I'm blasting your ears out. I get really excited about these chats. So I do just want to make sure that we get our audio level right before we start delving into questions. So yeah, leave your questions in the chat. I'm trying to hook myself up with enough windows that I can see what is going on. Here we go, my live dashboard. All right, so we've got the podcasts. We've also got the video versions of the podcast that'll be going up on wellnessplus.tv. And you can have a 2-week free trial of Wellness Plus. So essentially we're posting about 4 videos a week on our YouTube channel. Well, 4 and 3 on the other YouTube channel. On wellnessplus.tv, we just post videos as soon as they're ready. So sometimes that's like 10 to 20 videos per week. We've got Jess's 30-day yoga challenge is up there. Danny did a 30-day ab challenge, which is up there on wellnessplus.tv, as well as a lot of other videos. I really hope y'all will check it out. It's free to start your 2-week trial. And then, of course, we'll have the podcast going up as well. All right, so I am seeing some questions coming in here. Let me scroll back up. And guys, just let me remind you, because it's been a while since I did this, if you leave some question marks at the beginning of your question, it just makes the questions stand out. They're a little bit easier for me to see amidst all the different chats and just talking and saying hello, which is awesome. I love for y'all to talk to each other, but put question marks at the beginning of your question so that it's easier for me to see them. Yellow flower, how to control a sweet tooth. So the thing about sugar that is so insidious is that because processed sugar, what just says sugar on an ingredient label, is a highly refined substance, kind of like cocaine, another highly refined substance. And when you refine something and concentrate it down, it becomes really, really potent. And in the case of cocaine, we can think about how it's dangerous, and I just encourage you to think about sugar the same way. All right? It's a highly refined substance, which when the sugar is just naturally present in a piece of corn or a piece of fruit or something like that, it's very, very different in the chemical structure and the amount in terms of how much your body can process. So I've seen a couple questions in here about a sweet tooth and sugar cravings. The thing you got to understand is that the more you feed your body that refined sugar, the more you're going to crave it. So it kind of takes a little bit of self-discipline to start reducing your sugar intake. But once you do that, you'll see that your cravings really, really start to go away. And a good first step to doing that is just switching out your sweetener for something that's healthier and less processed, less refined. So great example would be coconut sugar. Somebody had asked earlier about coconut oil. Coconuts are fantastic. They're loaded with nutrients. The oils and the fats in coconut oil are great. But also when you take your sugar from coconut oil, or sometimes I'll just use coconut water to sweeten something, like my coffee or something like that. But when you use coconut water, coconut sugar, coconut oil, you get huge amounts of nutritional benefits like potassium. And just making a simple switch to using a more natural sweetener, a less processed sweetener like coconut sugar, stevia is a great example of an herbal sweetener. And even your, using your foods to sweeten things. So for instance, using fruits like blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, adding those wherever you can. Obviously, some things lend themselves better to being sweetened with fruits than others. But in baking and stuff like that, great idea. Use a banana, cut your sugar, right? Anyways, so sugar cravings are a huge topic. It is definitely something that we have talked about a lot on the channel over the years. So I encourage you to just check out some of the videos we've done and just start making small changes to try and reduce your consumption of high fructose corn syrup and refined sugar. There's even sodas now that use stevia. I think they're called Zevias. But just making a simple switch, like drinking Zevia instead of regular sodas, getting those natural sources of sweetness are going to give you a lot of nutrients, and they're not as hard for your body to break down. They're not going to perpetuate your sugar addiction. How can we reduce thyroid problems? Sorry, this is like not... Here we go. Okay, how can we reduce thyroid problems to normal thyroid? So thyroid is a very complex topic. I'm not going to go into a really long thyroid discussion right now, but I really, really encourage you to put in thyroid on the Psychetruth YouTube channel, because there have been a lot of different people over the years that have addressed thyroid in different contexts, nutritional contexts. There's also a lot of different yoga poses that are known to help bring your hormones into balance. Now, hormone balance is a pretty complex thing to achieve, all right? It's not like there's just one little button you can press and boom, your hormones are going to be balanced. It's going to take kind of a overall improvement in your health and lifestyle, because basically when your hormone system comes into balance, your endocrine system, that's not a product of one little tiny thing. It's generally going to be a product of your whole health coming into balance and all of the different parts of your body functioning the way that they're supposed to. Now, there are specific things that can disrupt your thyroid, specific things that can disrupt the endocrine system. And if you type in endocrine disruptors, in any search engine, you will find a big long list of different things associated with disrupting your hormone balance. So some common ones are things like plastic water bottles, the bisphenol A. If you're somebody that's always drinking from plastic water bottles, you microwave your food in those little Ziploc containers, or you're just constantly eating out of plastic containers, you can actually get so much of that bisphenol A that it can disrupt your hormones. Other examples of endocrine disruptors would be artificial fragrances. So if you spray a lot of different, Glade and those random kind of fragrance things into the air, or you've been using cologne and perfume for many, many, many years, those different artificial fragrances and weird, funky chemicals that they use to create things that smell good, unfortunately, they can often be very toxic to our body. And many of them are known to disrupt the endocrine system, aka hormone balance. So, thyroid, big issue. Really big issue, kind of complex issue. I'm going to keep moving on, but we do have a lot of people that have discussed thyroid on the channel. So I do hope that you will check it out, see what's been done. There's a lot of different things that we can do to help support healthy hormone balance. So yeah, here's Nicholas Dornfield. Do you like coconut oil? No, I don't like it. I freaking love it. All right, I love coconut oil. I love to cook with it. It is one of the best oils for cooking our foods because it basically has a high tolerance to heat. So certain oils, when you start to warm them up, like you're cooking food in them or whatever, right? When you start to warm them up, the chemical structure of the oil will actually change. This is why if you want to get all of the health benefits of olive oil and all of those good healthy fats, you've got to eat the olive oil raw or uncooked, okay? Like in your salad dressings. All right, because if you're just cooking with olive oil or you're just cooking with butter, the cooking process actually kind of denatures a lot of those nutritional elements that we associate with olive oil and even butter. So coconut oil, fantastic oil to cook with because it has a good resistance to heat. You're not going to be changing the chemical structure of the oil by cooking with it. I also love the flavor that coconut oil gives to eggs, whatever, stir frying vegetables, etc. And then if you really want the flavor of the butter or the olive oil, just add it after you've cooked the food. Coconut oil, also great on your skin. I love how it feels on my skin. I do think that if you have really sensitive skin on your face, maybe like test a little bit out because it is a little thick and some people say it can clog their pores. But on the rest of my body, I just love coconut oil, and I can even use it on my face, but I feel like I have, I don't know, my skin is not as sensitive as some people. So I think it's just really important before you use anything on your face to just test it out and kind of see how your skin reacts. But by and large, coconut oil is fantastic for the skin. It's fantastic raw in your smoothies. I use coconut oil when I make like pancakes and any kind of baked good. Coconut oil is I don't know, it's a really great oil for baking for some reason, and I'm not sure why. All right, so it just bumped me down to the bottom, so I'm gonna answer some of these questions here and then scroll back up. Home shopping silliness. Lively Life, I tried coconut oil, but I don't think it's working and still dry. You know, everyone is different. Sometimes people will be like, blah, 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 this didn't work for me. That means it's terrible. It doesn't mean it's terrible. It just means that we're all different and our bodies respond to different things. The same way that we're different in our personalities, our physiology is different. We're going to respond differently to things. So if it doesn't work for you, fine. If you're looking for something for dry skin, shea butter, fantastic. Vitamin E oil. Again, I love coconut oil, but if it doesn't seem to work for you, I'd say shea butter be fantastic. Probably one of the best hydrators for skin, in my opinion. What type? Okay, so we just talked about that one. Cooking is very healthy. How can we reduce? All right, so we kind of talked about dry skin there. Brian Keith Counterman Jr., so glad that you're here. Good to see you, Brian. Thank you for coming. No worries that you've got to leave a little early. I'm just glad that you could make it even for a little bit. Oh, Samuel Cruz, thank you so much. Samuel Cruz just left a tip. Thank you. He says, I love your videos, especially the ASMR. So at 4 p.m. Central today, I'm going to be on the ASMR channel doing a live chat just like this. And I'll try to talk a little bit more ASMR style. So Samuel, come back at 4 p.m. Central Time, if you can, on the ASMR channel for my live chat over there. Very awesome. Thank you so much for your tip. If you have a question, I owe you an answer now. I don't know why YouTube did not alert me of your tip, so my apology that it took me so long to see it. Mike McKenzie, is coconut water good to drink? I like to drink 4 energy drinks a day. So yes, energy drinks are bad. All right, guys, energy drinks not only have now been found to be responsible for the death of, I don't know the exact number, but there are several people that have died and they end up finding that the cause was all the caffeine and weird other stimulants in energy drinks. So I really, really recommend that you do a little research, and you can even put in, if you put in energy drinks death as a search term on Google, you will find, articles about what I'm talking about. So if you're drinking 4 energy drinks a day, I really recommend just start knocking it down by 1. Just try to go down to 3 energy drinks a day. Maybe after a couple weeks, 2, and work your way down. If you are, so you asked if coconut water is good to drink. Yes, definitely. It's not going to give you the caffeine boost of an energy drink, but coconut water is fantastic. I was drinking one right before I started. It's got so many electrolytes, minerals, potassium. There's just a lot of really wonderful nutrients, and it's incredibly hydrating for the body as well. So yes, coconut water is probably the only thing I drink other than regular water, other than kombucha. Be another thing that I really love as a drink. As far as energy goes, there are some natural energy drinks out there. There's a brand called Dark Dog, which makes a whole line of energy drinks. They're definitely cleaner, much healthier than your standard energy drink. I believe they only have like 50 calories, which is nice as well for those that are watching their weight. And they also have one that is made with coconut water. So you could actually drink a Dark Dog coconut water energy drink, and that would be a really, really fantastic thing to start replacing the Monsters or Red Bulls or whatever it is, because those are incredibly dangerous, especially if you're combining them with alcohol. I know that wasn't part of the question, but I do know that a lot of people do like Red Bull and liquor or whatever, and it's just really, really terrible for you. Please don't do it. Please, please, please. Please, please, please. I'm glad that somebody was tickled was tickled with me comparing sugar to cocaine. I mean, the comparison is about the refining process. Like, you can take a coca plant and it has a certain effect, and then you can refine it down and it's now incredibly toxic for your body. You know, you can take an ear of corn, isolate out the sugar, refine it down into high fructose corn syrup, and now you have something that's toxic to the body. So that's why I've made that comparison. It's about, you know, what is refining? It's like concentrating down all the sugary parts, or all the cocaine parts for that matter. And it morphs. It morphs the chemical structure. It morphs the way your body is able to digest and deal with that when we take it in. So for all of those who are maybe just now coming into the chat, I want to welcome all of you. Thank you so much for coming. I am so happy to welcome you to our new podcast studio. So we are launching the Wellness Plus podcast. It is already up and available on SoundCloud. I believe we are either about to get approved by iTunes, or maybe they approved us in the last day or two, but we're so excited. It's Wellness Plus podcast, and you can find it on your favorite podcast listening place, avenue. And we'll also be putting up video versions, because of course we're video people, so we wouldn't just do the audio. We'll be putting up the video versions of the podcasts on wellnessplus.tv. And guys, we just extended the free trial on Wellness Plus to 2 weeks. So it's totally free. Try it out for 2 weeks. You can check out Jess Timsit's 30-day yoga challenge. We're right in the middle of creating a 30-day yoga for weight loss course with Julia Marie. We've actually filmed all the yoga videos, so that is almost done. That'll be coming out soon. There's a 30-day ab program, as well as all of the different courses we've been creating. They're all up on wellnessplus.tv. So where we post about 4 videos a week on the YouTube channel, we post 10 to 20 videos a week on wellnessplus.tv. So there's lots of videos. It's an awesome kind of Netflix layout where it's really easy to find what you're looking for. Lots of topics: ASMR, yoga, massage therapy, meditation, fitness, everything under the big umbrella of wellness, as we like to say around here. Amanda Ames, natural ways to help with jaw or toothaches. Man, the jaw really kind of, it can be such a source of so many different things, because when we are grinding our teeth or just clenching our jaw, it's just one of those things that we often don't realize we're doing, but we spend a lot of time with our jaw just really clenched. So a great thing to do is to first just start noticing when you're gritting your teeth, clenching your jaw, and trying to start getting in a habit of relaxing that muscle. Because whatever pain that you're experiencing is only going to be exacerbated by these muscles being tense and tight. Now, one of my favorite things to do when I start feeling, you know, like a tooth feels kind of sensitive, or part of your gum feels sensitive, is what's called oil pulling. So here comes coconut oil again. Oil pulling, you take about a tablespoon of coconut oil and put it in your mouth, and you swish for 20 minutes. And it doesn't have to be really like harsh swishing. You just like gently swish the coconut oil in your mouth, but you need to put on a timer and do it for 20 minutes. And it's a little difficult the first couple times you do it. And then once you're done, spit the coconut oil out, but don't spit it down the sink, because if it hardens, it can like clog your sink. So I'll actually keep a little like Dixie cup or something to spit it in, and like throw it away or spit it outside. So what happens when you oil pull? Because the fats in the coconut oil, for lack of a better term, they basically draw toxins out of your mouth. All right. So, in addition to helping to actually clean your mouth, if you do prolonged oil pulling, like a couple times a week for several weeks or even every day, it can have even wider ranging detoxifying effects, because your mouth is a great entry point to your bloodstream, which is one of the reasons that things which are liposomal, or things you put under the tongue, are really, really well absorbed by the body. So oil pulling with coconut oil can be a really effective way of helping to detox not only the mouth, but the rest of the body. Definitely something that I do every time I have a jaw or toothache, or my gums start feeling sensitive. And then, so don't spit it down the sink, spit it in the trash or spit it outside. And then after you oil pull, you want to swish with hydrogen peroxide or something like that to kill all the bacteria. And then I'll even like kind of brush my teeth with the peroxide in my mouth, because it's like, you will feel a little slimy after you oil pull. But I swear to goodness, every time I do it, my mouth just feels so much better afterward. Coconut oil pulling. There's also a lot of great like tea tree oil mouthwash products on the market now. I see them all the time. Swishing with a mouthwash that contains tea tree oil would be another great idea. Fantastic antimicrobial benefits that we get from tea tree. Just really, really fantastic. I don't want to, for each of these questions, I could sit here and just go on and on and on, but I'm going to try to keep on moving, keep on getting to questions. But again, I've done I've done a couple videos over the years talking about the mouth, tips for the mouth and the teeth and stuff like that. So if you just put teeth in on Psychetruth as a search term, you can find some of those videos. There's a lot of other stuff we can do as well. Even swishing with baking soda can be an effective, really cheap, easy thing to do. It's not going to give you the antibacterial benefits, but it does alkalize the mouth. So a big part of what contributes to just general bad stuff happening to our teeth is just the acidic environment in our mouth. And then especially if we're drinking sodas, which are extremely acidic, coffee, extremely acidic, lots of sugar, which is also acid forming when we eat it. Something simple like swishing with baking soda just to bring that acidity level down is a good idea. Acid kills bacteria. Anyways, getting a little crazy complex, but there's a lot of videos where I've talked about that. So yeah, so it's so funny. A lot of you are saying like, oh, you're talking so funny, because y'all are used to me being on the ASMR channel. But actually, I've been on this channel, Psychetruth, for way longer. And I was actually doing these live chats in my regular speaking voice, quite energized live chats, even long before the ASMR channel. But all you ASMR lovers out there, go to the ASMR channel at 4 p.m. Central today. That's about an hour and a half. I'm going to be doing an ASMR live chat at 4 o'clock, and that will be a little bit more the style that you're used to and the level of vocal volume that you're used to. Tan spice. Can I eat soy yogurt? I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can eat dirt if you want. No, I kid. I don't know that brand that you mentioned, Alpro. I don't know. If you're gonna eat something with soy, make sure it's organic, because one of the most common genetically modified plants is the soybean. So if you are not drinking organic soy milk, there's a chance that that soy is GMO. Same thing goes for soy yogurt or soy whatever. So, I would say you're better off to either choose organic soy, and then also there's a lot of coconut milk, dairy-free things out there. Coconut milk yogurt, coconut milk ice cream. Coconut is not a GMO food. So even if you're not getting organic, you know that anything with coconut, made primarily with coconut is not GMO because they don't genetically modify coconuts yet. So I would recommend coconut or almond milk as an alternative to soy. But without seeing the product and reading the label and seeing the ingredients, I can't really speak to how healthy it is. I would encourage you to look at things like, does it contain high fructose corn syrup? Anything with high fructose corn syrup in it, just put it back. That's a really good indicator that that's not a healthy product. Artificial flavors, artificial sweeteners like sucralose, acesulfame potassium. Those would be things that I highly recommend you avoid. And if you start reading labels, you're going to see those things on everything. And you'll understand why I recommend that you just stay away from processed foods altogether. Because then you don't have to sit there and comb through this really long ingredient list. Alrighty. Mr. Just DIY, do you still sing? Yes, I do. I actually had my little gig this weekend. I have a little jazz duo where I play guitar and sing, and I play with another guitar player. And we have a gig here in Austin at this really delightful little sushi restaurant. And I played that this weekend, and I ate sushi, and it was amazing. Oh, wait, no, it was last weekend. So yes, I still sing. Maybe in the ASMR chat, we'll get a little singing. And then I realized as soon as I started this chat today that I don't have my guitar to sing the live chat theme song, but next time we'll definitely sing it. I'm actually singing more than ever now, which is awesome to me anyway. Anan Naeem Mughal, advise me for weight loss. And then Amanda Coleman, how much exercise should you do in a day? It's so funny. Weight loss is one of those things that we've made a lot of videos on. My camera, there's something funny blinking on my camera. Mikey, if you're listening right now, will you come see what this camera is doing? I'm not recognizing what this, there's something blinking at me, but I can't really see what it is. So I apologize, guys that are watching. But I would be so sad if my camera suddenly turned off or something. That would be horrible. Okay, so weight loss. Wow. Kind of a big topic, all right? Because everyone is coming from a different place in their weight loss journey, you could say. So somebody who is just looking to lose a little bit of weight is in a different situation than somebody who's needing to lose a lot of weight, or maybe they've been sedentary for a really long time. So one of the main reasons that I became a health coach is so that I can kind of adjust the advice that I give to the person. Because without knowing you or anything about you, it's a little bit hard to know what to recommend. Same thing with Amanda's question about how long to work out each day. It's going to be different. So to try and give you some basic guidelines that hopefully will give you some answers to those questions.
Still move that more away from your mouth.
It's just the more I move it away, I can't make it point at me.
Lean in, you're overdriving.
It's just really, I wish this arm didn't go like that.
Get it,
Like that? Okay. Okay. So, couple basic tenets. Probably the most important thing that people need to know if they want to lose weight is that your body only metabolizes fat or burns fat when you are out of the fight or flight response, out of the stress response. So probably the biggest thing that is keeping people from losing weight is that they're just too stressed out. If you're not getting enough sleep, guess what? The primary time that your body actually metabolizes fat for fuel is while you sleep. So if you're not sleeping enough or you're not getting good enough quality sleep, it's really, really hard for your body to burn off the fat, no matter what you're doing. So one of the most important things you can do is start managing your stress levels. Just notice how much of the day are you on pins and needles, cortisol, adrenaline, stress mode, and just try to spend more time with reduced stress. So things like taking a deep breath, doing a breathing exercise where you just slow your breathing, focus on your breathing. This is a great way to stimulate that parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest nervous system. That's also your weight loss nervous system. So reduce your stress, get more sleep. Don't skimp on your sleep just so that you can work out more, because then you're only raising your stress. So first thing is reducing stress and getting more sleep. But of course, you also know that if you want to lose weight, you got to get more exercise. But exercise is a stressor on the body. So I really just want to emphasize how important it is to balance, to balance your stress relief, your sleep, your being calm, and your exercise. Because clearly they're opposites, right? But you need both of them. So if you're wanting to lose weight, do your exercise, do your fitness. A good recommendation is 30 to 45 minutes a day. But just remember that, you have to choose what's practical for you. And if 20 minutes a day is all you have, then do it. It's better than nothing, and you can still get results even in a shorter amount of time. Things like high intensity interval workouts, or HIIT, HIIT, you'll see that a lot on our videos. Those workouts are really intense, but they help you burn a lot of calories in a short amount of time. So those higher intensity workouts can be very, very fantastic for weight loss. You just really need to remember that you don't only do the super intensity, that you're also making sure that you're stretching, that you're breathing, that you're sleeping, and you're trying to keep your stress levels low. Because a lot of people that I work with in my health coaching, they'll be frustrated with why they can't lose weight, and it's actually because they're working out too much and they're stressed out all the time. And then they stress themselves out about trying to lose weight, and the whole thing is just kind of ruined. So just as important as exercise is your sleep and reducing your stress. The third prong, I would say, is your diet. The foods that you're eating. If you're eating lots of sugar, lots of sodas, lots of refined carbohydrates like white bread, pasta, potato chips, unfortunately, it's not going to be easy for your body to lose weight because your body's just going to burn the sugar. As long as your body's burning sugar from your diet, from the things you're eating, it doesn't burn fat. So if you want to burn fat, you've got to reduce your sugar intake. This is the whole thinking behind ketogenic diets. And if you want to look up ketogenic diet, there's a lot of different information out there. That is a pretty, it's an intense diet. It requires a lot of changes, and I don't necessarily think it's right for everyone, but it's a good thing to learn about and understand the concept behind it, which is basically reduce your sugar intake so your body will burn fat for fuel. because like it's probably the best way to get your body into that mode of fat burning. So, we did a couple videos on ketogenic diets. There's a lot of other stuff on YouTube as well. I do think that's a pretty intense diet for most people, but if you're looking for significant weight loss, that would be, something to look into. Melody Chan, I don't know what else to call them, but I have muffin toppers, and I don't know how to get rid of them. So the muffin top is that little area of fat kind of right below the belly, right on top of the hips. Usually we, for lack of a better term, exactly, where the fat kind of spills out over our pant legs, or, over the top of our pants. So there's no way to spot reduce, right? You can't say, oh, I just want to lose fat from this one area of the body. So you're going to have to consider cardiovascular exercise that's going to help your entire body to burn fat. Cardiovascular exercise where you get your heart rate up, you're sweating, that is where your body goes into that fat burning zone. And as long as you're not eating too much sugar and carbohydrates and white bread and stuff like that, then your body will burn that fat. So you got to do some cardio. You've got to reduce your sugar intake so that your body can have the benefits that you're getting from the cardiovascular exercise. And then I would just encourage you to think about moving that part of your body. So there's a lot of different exercises that involve like twisting, bending. I believe it was last week we even posted a muffin top workout. So anything that involves like twisting your upper body will be really effective for targeting that area. Just remember that you've got to focus on cardio so that you can burn fat across the whole body, and that will help reduce your midsection. Last little piece to know is that cortisol, which is the main stress hormone, is highly associated with belly fat. And that's so important, I'm just going to repeat myself. Cortisol, the main stress hormone, is highly correlated with belly fat. That means that people who have lots of belly fat tend to have high stress levels. And people with high stress levels tend to acquire a lot of belly fat. So even though the muffin top is generally considered more like the sides or the back of the body, it's still part of your belly. All right? So again, another reason to reduce your stress levels. Do some yoga. Do some meditation. Just do some simple, deep breathing exercises. We breathe all day long without even thinking about it. But when you focus your mind on your breathing and you say, I'm going to take a slow, in fact, do this with me right now. All of you, no matter where you are. So we're going to take a deep inhale, and I want you to notice if you're going, all right? Don't raise your chest up. Think about breathing into your belly. So I'm going to take a full breath. And you'll notice my chest didn't really move up at all until maybe the very last. So think about breathing into your belly. Think about focusing on your breath. Just that slow, deep breathing and thinking about exhaling slowly will put you into that parasympathetic nervous system. It's like a little hack for lowering your stress levels. And if you can start to breathe this way throughout the day, anytime you feel stressed, before you go to bed, do some of this deep breathing. Slowly in, fill up your belly, hold for a second before you exhale, and then slowly exhale the breath. Reduce your stress levels, lose weight, reduce belly fat. Who could, Who could possibly say, oh, but I like being stressed out. I like having belly fat, said no one ever. Alrighty, guys. Scrolling down, looking for questions. You know, really specific questions like, I'm this tall and I have this much weight to lose and da-da-da-da-da. I don't have time to give you a specific hand-tailored response to your own weight loss journey. But if you email me, email corrinanow@gmail.com. It actually has the word email in it. Email corrinanow@gmail.com and we can set up a health coaching session. That's exactly what I do in my health coaching, is talk to people about how much weight they want to lose, talk to people about their lifestyle, their favorite foods, their age, etc., and kind of tailor a plan for you to help achieve the goals that you want. But it takes a little bit of time. It takes me asking a lot of questions, and so I'm not going to do that in the live chat right now. All right, so for those of you who are maybe just tuning in, I want to welcome you to the live chat. Thank you so much for coming, and I want to introduce you to our new podcast studio. So we are rolling out our new podcast. It's called the Wellness Plus Podcast, and it's going to be available on all of your favorite podcast availability downloading places. You can also sign up for our RSS feed and always make sure that you catch the podcasts. I had Athena Jezik on the podcast yesterday as my guest. It was very exciting. Very happy to be working with Athena again. We've also had Robert Gardner on the live chat. Podcast. And I have a lot of doctors, functional medicine practitioners lined up over the coming weeks. So very, very exciting news. And I do hope that you'll check it out. We also will be posting the video versions, like you're seeing right now, on wellnessplus.tv. And we just extended the trial period for Wellness Plus, so you can actually try it out for 2 weeks and check out the 30-day yoga programs, check out the 30-day ab program. We've got a lot of different amazing stuff up there. And we post about 10 to 20 videos a week on wellnessplus.tv. Everything from massage videos, ASMR videos, nutrition, yoga, fitness workouts, etc., etc., etc. So please go check out the podcast, leave us a review. iTunes basically, just based on the first 2 weeks of interactions you get on your podcast, that's how they kind of determine your ranking. So I beg of you, I plead of you, go check out the podcast, leave us a review, leave us hopefully a good review. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. As we really super appreciate that. And then sign up for your free trial of wellnessplus.tv. Give it a go. I think you'll be pleased. I'm really proud of all the content we've been putting up there. So I hope that you'll check it out. Doesn't cost you a penny to just check it out. Yeah, I mean, it's so funny. So I do these live chats. People get really PO'd at me because I don't answer their question. I don't know if y'all can just imagine for a second what it's like for me sitting here with all of these hundreds of comments coming in. There's no way I can answer every single question. It would just be impossible. You can make it a little easier for me by putting question marks at the beginning of your question. Yamagashi-san has used these awesome kind of like big giant question marks. Super easy to see, so that's cool. It says, why is it necessary to point the toes during many stretching exercises or poses? So this is a really good question. Now, I'm not an actual yoga teacher, but I've heard a lot of different yoga teachers give this cue in their classes, and here is the reason. So it's not so much pointing the toe. It can be flexing the foot. Basically, the thing is just that you keep the foot muscles engaged, and it's because it protects the knee. So for instance, in that little kind of, what do they call that? Thread the needle pose, where you're lying on your back and you bend one leg, you keep the bent leg, or the foot of the bent leg flexed. So I actually won't point it, I'll flex it back at myself, but you keep the foot engaged because all of these little tiny muscles that wrap up from the foot to the knee, you'll actually protect the knee joint by keeping your foot engaged. And so it's for safety. You also get more benefit from the stretch. Darren Williamson, how can you sleep better? Turn off your EMF emitting devices. So that's like your TV, your computer. If you have a gaming device like an Xbox or a PlayStation in your room, turn that stuff completely off, as in unplugged, while you sleep. While we're surrounded by those devices, even if they're not on, but they're plugged in. Now, obviously, when they're on, they'll emit even more radiation, but even if they're plugged in, they can still be emitting stuff. So if it's just like one little thing in your room, it's probably not a big deal, but a lot of us are now like surrounded with electronic devices while we sleep. So I actually keep all of my electronic devices plugged in on a power strip, and I just turn the power strip off when I'm ready to go to bed. And so just clearing all of that out. Also a good idea to stay away from those technological devices and anything with a screen an hour or two before bedtime. So as much as you can, I know a lot of people are, they're on their computer, they're on their phone or whatever. But if you can reduce your screen time an hour or two before you go to sleep, you will actually sleep better. As a general rule of thumb, just reducing the light in your room or in your house in those couple hours before bed is also going to help you get to sleep. So the body produces melatonin. It's a hormone that helps us sleep. The body only produces melatonin when it gets dark. So evolutionarily, that worked perfectly because at night, the sun would go down and then boom, that signals the body to make melatonin and get ready for sleep. Well, as wonderful as electronic devices are, the artificial light that we have, even after the sun goes down, is a big part of what's negatively affecting our sleep. It's confusing our body because the body's going, it's still daylight. It's still daylight. Now, as I'm sitting here surrounded by lights pointing me in the eye, I'm a little bit of a hypocrite because even with the ASMR videos, I'm sitting there at like 2 a.m. with a light in my face. And then I get home and I can't fall asleep. I can't fall asleep for a while. And it's because when you've got a bunch of bright lights in your face, your body doesn't produce melatonin. Your body doesn't get the message that it's time for sleep. So turn off the lights. I, in the evening time, will just use my Himalayan salt lamp and try to turn off my overhead lights, try to turn off all of the excessive light, especially fluorescents and LEDs and stuff like that. They actually kind of flash. You can't see it, but they basically are going to disrupt your circadian rhythm or your body's perception of whether it's day or night. You can also do things like taking magnesium. Magnesium is a mineral that helps your muscles relax. So magnesium is a great thing to take at night, help you physically relax, which is excellent. I'm a big fan of diffusing essential oils like lavender. Another great thing for improving your sleep is chamomile tea. Chamomile is a fantastic, it has so many different benefits that help to reduce cortisol, reduce stress levels, help you not only fall asleep easier, but also get a higher quality of sleep, a more restful sleep. Lively Life, what is the solution to people who have swollen ankles? Swollen ankles can result from a lot of different things. For most of us, it's just kind of gravity, right? We're always walking on our feet, always got gravity pulling down on us. So something like legs up the wall, or what's also called waterfall pose in yoga. So you just lay on your back, put your legs straight up in the air. If you do it against a wall, that can be nice. You can just rest your feet there. If that feels too intense, maybe you just start by laying on the floor and putting your feet up on an ottoman or something. If it doesn't feel good for them to go all the way vertical. So that can help, but it's probably not going to super help. It can definitely help you reduce the pain. And it's just a healthy thing to do. Putting your feet up above your head. Just helping to take gravity out of the situation. And probably the best solution for swollen ankles is to get lymphatic massage therapy. So when the ankles become swollen, that is partly lymphatic fluid. It can also be interstitial fluid, the fluid that's just in between your cells. But lymphatic massage is all about helping to stimulate that flow of the lymphatic fluid, which is just below our skin, so that, in addition to helping you not have swollen ankles or bloating, it's also just really, really great for your overall health. It's detoxifying to support the lymph system. And man, there's just so many different reasons to do that. But if you do have swollen ankles, come to Austin, make an appointment with Athena Jezik and get a lymphatic massage. If you can't come to Austin, look for a lymphatic massage therapist wherever you live. That would probably be the best recommendation I can give. Savannah Remy, Corrina, what type of dietary guidelines do you follow? Vegan, keto, seafood diet? I don't really follow a strict diet. Over the years, and learning about a lot of different diets, for many years I was a pescatarian, which means that I didn't eat meat products. I really just ate, was primarily vegetarian, but I would also eat fish periodically. Nowadays, I just don't really adhere to any one way of eating. I just try to prioritize eating healthy foods as much as I can. I try to focus on eating as many vegetables as I can. So every time I have dinner, I have a salad. A lot of times I'll try to just have a big salad as my lunch or as my dinner. But pretty much every day, I want to eat a salad. I want to eat, other types of vegetables. So I have asparagus in the fridge right now, just like steamed asparagus. I love broccoli, carrots, beets. I'm just all about trying to get the colors of the rainbow, so to speak. Eating a lot of vegetables. If I'm gonna eat meat, I always try to make sure that it's like grass-fed beef or organic meats. By and large, most of the meats out there that you find in typical restaurants and definitely fast food is factory farmed. Basically, it just means the nutritional quality of that meat is like really, really bad. So grass-fed beef. I do like eating eggs from time to time. But I would say, if I had one overarching guideline, it's eat as many vegetables as possible. And then I don't really micromanage myself in terms of like, I'm allowed to eat this or I'm not allowed to eat that. I try to listen to my cravings, try to listen to what my body is telling me. I just try to eat as many vegetables as I can. Try to stay away from processed foods as much as I possibly can. Kahari Art Media says this was on Wednesday. Is it going to be on Tuesday now? I don't think we're going to have a specific day every day of the week because, guys, I film for Psychetruth channel and for the ASMR channel like every day. So I work Monday through Friday, even though y'all don't always see me on live chat. I work Monday through Friday pretty much every week. Every once in a while, I don't know, man. I took off July the 4th. But anyways, Monday through Friday I'm working. A lot of times I'm filming yoga or I'm filming fitness or whatever. So depending on my weekly schedule, basically we'll just kind of squeeze the live chat in on whatever day it works. So I apologize. We're not going to have like a weekly live chat. Live chat's always at the same time. But hopefully that will actually help more people to be able to make the live chat. Because when it was every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central Time on your YouTube machine, there were certain people that could never be there because that just time doesn't work for them. So we'll be doing different days, different times. I will try to keep y'all in the loop on when the live chats are coming up. Lastixin, how to become taller. You know, there's not really ways to like physically lengthen your bones and make yourself taller, but I will say this. Probably 99% of people could improve their posture, and if they just did one thing, which was try to sit up straight, elongate your head and neck, not slouch, not slump, you will gain 2 to 5 inches in your height just by improving your posture. Actually, we did some videos with Athena Jezik, and we had Lucy as her model. And so Lucy was just standing there the way she normally stands. And then Athena kind of says, okay, so I want you to think about aligning your head over your neck so it's not jutting out. You're trying to like be aligned in your head and neck. And then you kind of like tuck the chin a little bit, but you think about lengthening the occiput, which is just that little crest of the skull right there. And anyways, she like 4 inches taller she became all of a sudden. It was incredible. And on that note, things like stretching your body, doing yoga tend to improve people's posture and also make them taller. But you know, in terms of actually making your bones physically longer, don't really think there's anything you can do for that. I apologize. Mish Qureshi, I am sorry that I missed your question. I can't see every question that comes in. It's just not possible. You said, I skip my sleeping and you cannot answer me. Well, now you're just giving me a hard time, but you haven't actually listed your question again, so I don't freaking know what it is. If you're telling me that you don't sleep, you skip your sleeping, I would say that's a terrible idea. There's only going to be a certain amount of time that you can do that before you're going to die, because sleeping is that important. Sleeping is so important that, you know, when we talk about sleep deprivation and like people kind of go woo woo and they get kind of, it's almost like you're on drugs or something, right? It's because the brain needs sleep so badly that when you're not getting enough sleep, your brain will go into that state of sleep while you're awake. And then you're awake, but like you feel like you're like tripping or something because everything's just weird and your brain isn't functioning the way it's supposed to. So yeah, don't skip on sleep. 6 to 8 hours a night is a good thing to aim for. And I see a lot of things that are like, oh, sleep 4 hours a night. I think that's a bunch of BS. I think maybe there are some people out there that can sleep for that short amount of time. But by and large, I still don't really think it's healthy for you. Even if you can get by on 4 hours of sleep, that doesn't mean it's healthy. And you shouldn't skip your sleep. And you definitely shouldn't not sleep at all. Anyhow, guys, I am hitting my hour here, so I've got to go ahead and be wrapping up. I do want to thank all of you for being here, and I want to thank you all for the amazing questions. One last time, let me just remind you guys to pretty please go sign up for our podcast RSS feed. RSS. So Wellness Plus Podcast, it's available on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes. We really would appreciate it if you can go and leave us a review. The very first podcast is an interview with Robert Gardner. He's talking about the science behind pain and offering all of these different tips and information about relieving pain. So it's a really fascinating podcast. I learned so much from him in that little conversation. So I hope you'll go check it out. Leave us a review. You can also check out the video versions of the Wellness Plus podcast on wellnessplus.tv. And we just extended the trial period for wellnessplus.tv, so you can actually try it out for free for 2 weeks. Check out all the awesome content we have up there. So many great programs, so many great videos, ASMR, massage, yoga, fitness videos, nutrition videos. It's going to be so amazing too once we get all of these cool podcasts added on there as well. So there's already hundreds of videos up there already, including the 30-day yoga challenge from Jess Timsit, the 30-day ab program from Danny Nicole, and all kinds of other cool stuff. So wellnessplus.tv, Wellness Plus podcast. Check it out. We've got some links for you there. Also, guys, make sure you're following us on Instagram and Facebook, because we post a lot of cool stuff over there as well. It's a great place to, if you're following us on Instagram and or Facebook, it's a great place to make sure that you never miss one of our videos. You'll get information anytime we're doing giveaways or cool fun stuff like that, and then we'll also be posting a lot of clips from the podcasts, so lots of fun over there. I want to thank all of you so much for coming today. Thank you for your amazing questions. Many thanks to Amanda for moderating for me today. So great to see all of you. There's always so many great questions. I don't even want to end the chat, but I've got to get going. I'm going to be doing the ASMR live chat at 4 o'clock. So I hope that those of you that love the ASMR videos, come check out that chat. I'm very excited to do some live ASMR. We'll be doing my best to be a little bit more quiet. So many thanks to all of you. Hope to see you again soon. I'll be posting a fitness fashion haul here in just a moment on Psychetruth channel. So I hope that you'll come back, check out that video as well. And yeah, Wellness Plus podcast, wellnessplus.tv. Big thanks to all of our Psychetruth Patreon supporters. Honestly, our patrons are what made this podcast studio possible in the first place. So big, huge thanks to all of our Patreon supporters. I hope that y'all, if you're not a Patreon supporter right now, go to psychetruthpatrons.com, check it out. Consider helping support us in all of our video efforts. We try to really pay back our or show our gratitude with exclusive videos, behind the scenes, bloopers, exclusive live chats, all kinds of fun stuff. So lots of cool things, lots of ways to help us out over here. And remember that if you want to consider setting up a personal call with me, a personal health coaching session where we can go more into detail in your own personal health issues, you can send me an email. Email Corrina now@gmail.com. Actually has the word email in it. Email Corrina now@gmail.com. So happy that all of you are here. Thank you for all of your questions. Everyone says, do one more questions. I love ASMR. I hate ASMR. Y'all are cracking me up around here. All right, one more question. Mozen's Salim, what is the best exercise for the heart? I'm not sure of one specific particular exercise. The thing about exercising is that a lot of the benefit comes from just giving the body different challenges. So if you were to just do one single exercise and that was the only exercise you ever did, it wouldn't be as beneficial as doing a variety of things. Now, when it comes to the heart, you've got to be doing what they call cardiovascular exercise. That just means that your heart rate is elevated. Generally, you're going to be sweating. When your heart rate starts getting up, you start getting into that cardiovascular mode. So the cool thing about that is that there's a lot of different types of fitness that you can do to get cardiovascular benefits. Anytime you see the word cardio workout on our channel, that's a good sign. It's a great workout for the heart. Anything that's HIIT, high intensity interval, will tend to be very cardio oriented. That's great for the heart. I think probably the best exercise for the heart, if I had to pick one thing, would be yoga. Now, that's not a specific exercise, it's a type of fitness, but yoga is fantastic because you modulate between high cardiovascular activity where the heart is really pumping and then bringing the heart rate back down to a more calm state. So rather than just your heart rate being elevated for a solid 20 minutes, the way it would be with a cardio workout or a HIIT workout, you are kind of moving through maybe 4 minutes, your heart rate is kind of lower, and then for about 4 minutes, your heart rate is a lot higher, and then you bring it back down again and let it relax. So cardio exercise, yoga, just get your heart pumping. When your heart is beating fast, that's how you know you're getting a good exercise for the heart. All right, guys, so thank you for being here. WellnessPlus.tv, start your 2-week trial. Wellness Plus podcast, bonus points if you'll leave us a positive review. And guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye. Oh, wait.